I would get on.
Great.
Okay. Okay. Do you see it full screen?
You on the mark.
À qui appartient Barcelone? À Gaudi, le fou de Dieu inspiré par la nature? Ou à Bofill, le mégalomane hanté par Babylone? Les parents de Ricardo Bofill tentent de répondre.
Chi è? Riccardo Bofill? È difficile la definizione, ma io credo che è una persona senza dire cose per altro, che è una persona intelligente, lavoratrice, molto lavoratrice, ma con una come si dice in italiano, con un'ambizione molto sempre da piccolo lui voleva arrivare quando aveva 3 anni diceva già che lui gli piacerebbe essere Dio perché Dio lo può tutto e così essendo difficoltà potrebbe fare tutto.
Now he is still working hard, but me and my brother are both sort of continuing the.
Per quello che io non ho influito molto, posso aver influito in altre cose, ma in questa cosa di Gaudino.
Yeah, hello, my name is Moritz. I will be talking about Walden 7 by the Taller d'Architektura of Ricardo Bofill. And the text names is On the Altar of Hestia. I don't know whether this hero ever existed. I don't know whether this is history or myth. All I see is a fine conceptual symmetry between the name and the cry, between the two heroes face to face. Hostius is the name of the host, Hostilius that of the enemy. Two assonant and related names upon the same head, two breaths for the same mouth, or two men in one. I am Walden, and I'm a nomad. I mean, not me as a building of stone and bricks, but as a concept. I am moving through situations, places, and times within myself and through the movement of my characters. Mother has arranged a feast for my return. Everybody is there. Grandfather, and even Gaba, the housekeeper, usually sits in a booth at the entrance door. My family's dinner table is standing in the middle of the courtyard. Golden sunbeams illuminate the blue walls, and I have mixed feelings being in this all too familiar surrounding. Grandfather, the first in the legacy of builders other than Papa, loves all his projects. He admires me every time he comes and checks for my well-being. The old patriarch stands up, clinging onto his glass, waiting for everybody to stop their conversation so I can announce a speech. The place where she had lived and worked for a long time now always offered more than enough new experiences and adventures. The country and the region were not the ones in which she had been born, and starting in childhood, she had lived in several altogether different lands and landscapes. Walden 7. Why did they call me like that? It may just be a number between 6 and 8. Everything changes but the numbers. At least those naming the floors in the lift, those at the apartment doors. And the names of my walkways, they did not change for years. Kafka, Einstein, and Neruda do not move a bit. They sit stubborn on their signs while everyone else is hurrying by and moving in and out, rebuilding and enlarging. Hostel symbol. Festivals deserve sacred names owing to the sacrifice, birth and disappearance, hymns and melodies, laughter and tears, flowers and ashes. Everything mixes in the festive whirlwind. Today is my birthday. Familiar smells fill my nose, all coming from the apartment kitchens looking into the patio. Mother and some of my children bring in all the different plates with local food. Some of my children, Hayakal, the inhabitants of my inner organs, have ripped me apart and reorganized me. When Marta, Gabo's wife, gave birth to their second daughter, they reorganized the layout and tore down the wall to the next apartment, and now they are quite a happy family, besides those occasionally occurring heavy disputes where the spouses throw tableware at each other. Grandfather continues. The paradoxical aim of most utopists is the organization of anarchy. But any scheme is bound to look schematic, however humane its intention. Every plan for collective activity must begin on the two-dimensional plane of a blueprint. My looks wander up to the blue spot between the towers, raising their heads to the clear blue sky. I fill my lungs with the cool air circulating between the walls. I feel a sunbeam on my face, pleasantly warm. Sand trickles between my toes. Playing children's voices fill the courtyard. A brown-skinned boy is jumping along the table. The small hat is bouncing on his head, and his laughter resonates from the walls until it escapes through the funnel into the sky. A hermit in the smooth, homogeneous desert under the immutable sun, the space where nothing new can appear beneath the metallic midday brightness, living amidst an infinity of stones. I hear grandfather's voice coming back from afar. A red tile sailing down from above scatters boisterous on the floor, spilling small pieces in every corner of the courtyard, only briefly recognized by grandfather going on his sermon. Because of the two senses of prior that Aristotle distinguishes, something can be said to be both prior and posterior to one and the same thing, both cause and caused. For prior can mean occurring earlier in the temporal process of generation, or again, ranking first in completeness of being. Because activity in nature moves from the incomplete and unachieved to completeness and achievement, the unachieved is prior to the achieved. In the temporal process of generation, through the achieved is prior in completeness. So we say adults come from children in the completeness of being, though children come before adults in the temporal process of generation. Matter precedes form in the temporal process of generation because what takes on is prior to what is taken on. But form precedes matter in achievement because matter is incomplete without form. A warm hand touches me. My walls giving guidance through these walkways I know so well. Most of the apartment doors stand open. An old lady is folding freshly washed clothes. The working man, family father, is yelling at his two fighting kids. A young woman's voice is calling out his name. Ricardo, dinner is ready. The brown-skinned boy is walking through the labyrinth of my organs, his fingers brushing along the blue tiles, not even noticed by my bustling children. Thank you very much.